Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to be learning about the melodic step sequencer plus 32 notes function of the PUSH2. My name is Ttils from the 16th Bar, and together with Production Music Live, we created this PUSH2 masterclass to show you how you can create an entire track without ever having to touch a mouse or a keyboard. So let's dive in. Alright, here we go, our next melodic sequencer layout option. And this option combines a melodic pad layout where we can play and choose notes or even chords. And we can add those selected notes or chords to our step sequence. So basically, the bottom half of the pad grid will let you play notes in real time and select them for step sequencing. Each pad corresponds to one of the available pitches in the currently selected scale, which is still A minor. Pressing a pad will select and play the pad. We can select multiple pads at a time by holding them down all together. As many as you want. And if you want to select a pad without triggering the sound, you'll have to press and hold select, and now you can pick the sound. The selected notes are represented by a lighter version of the track's color. And the bright pads of the track's color, as always, represent the root notes of the currently selected scale. In this mode, pressing the octave up or down button shifts the range of available notes. And just as with the melodic step sequencer, holding down the shift button while changing octaves will enable you to go in one note steps. So the workflow here to enter steps into the step sequencer is as follows. Let's set a fixed length. It's going to be 2 bars this time around. So basically our top 32 pads, exactly like it was in the case of the drum rack, represent the 32-step step sequencer, which currently is based on 16 note steps. So every pad represents 1/16th note. And of course, we can change this. So when I want to enter my melodies into the step sequencer, all I need to do is pick the note and pick the position where I want to enter it. And as always, as soon as there is a note entered into the step sequencer, Ableton will create a clip based on our fixed length settings, and it will start playing. You can delete notes by tapping the sequencer again, or you can delete the whole set of notes by pressing and holding delete and tapping the pad that the notes correspond to. You can select multiple pads and thereby create chords. Every time you enter a note into the step sequencer, it will enter the note or notes into the step sequencer that you last selected. You can delete them all the same way. Once we have notes entered into the sequence, we can press and hold selected positions, hit duplicate, and copy them onto another section of the sequence. The colors of the pads in the step sequencer represent the following. The clip's color represents steps that contain a note. Green represents the step that is currently playing. White represents a step that is currently selected for adjustments. Gray pads are the empty pads. And pads that are light gray represents notes that are in the sequence but they're currently muted. Which brings me to my next point. You can mute one or more steps by pressing and holding them and hitting the mute button. You cannot solo a step, however. If you want to add notes to an already existing step in the sequence, all you have to do is press and hold the note, and now you can add the notes that you wish to add. This layout option is very much ideal for figuring out chords and harmonies to include in your sequence. Now quickly let's look at the correlation between this display view and the melodic step sequencer. So I'm just going to switch to the melodic step sequencer. And just for simplicity's sake, and so I can show all the notes that are in the sequence, I'm going to change the resolution to quarter notes. And as you can see, our entered notes are represented in this sequencer view just as well. The touch strip shows that there are other notes that we have entered that are not currently visible on this page. So I'm going to navigate one octave up, and now we get to see those. And last but not least, you have the ability to access the loop selector in this view also. So by pressing and holding the layout button, you're going to temporarily be able to access the loop selector. If you want to lock it in place, again, shift and layout. And now the top row of the bottom 32 pads represent your loop selector. And just like we did with the sequencer for the drums, we can do the same modifications where we can double the loop. We can copy a page of the loop and paste it to another segment. We can choose the entire selection of the loop to play back. We can focus in on one page while the loop keeps playing that one particular page, which again is represented on the display. We can go back to playing the full loop by pressing the first and last pad. We can focus in on one page while the entire loop keeps playing by single tapping the pad that we want to focus in on. And then making adjustments. Excellent. If you want to see which notes are featured in one step, all you have to do is press and hold, and the display will switch to showing those notes. And exactly how we've already learned, if we want to manipulate one step within our sequence, we press and hold the step, which is going to give us the options to change the note's position, change the length of the note, fine-tune the length of the note, change velocity, focusing on the last page, go to the mix view, press and hold one pad, let's play the whole loop from the beginning. Excellent. The only function that these two melodic sequencing options do not give us is recording velocities, so let's look into that in the next video. So that's it. Thanks very much for watching. For the full PUSH2 masterclass, you will find the link in the description section of this video. Please give us a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing here, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you very soon.